Nelson. I teach general music at Anderson Elementary for grades kindergarten through 5th grade, and I teach beginning band for the 6th grade at Anderson Middle School.
Peter Allenbaugh. I teach the program for kids with autism and other disabilities here at Anderson Elementary. It serves students from kindergarten through 5th grade.
Hello, I'm Stacy Parks. I teach algebra at McDonald County High School. My students range from freshmen up through sometimes seniors.
My name is Susan Briscoe. I teach 4th grade here at Noel Elementary School.
I'm Tammy Fisher, and I teach 4th grade at Noel Elementary School.
I wrote a grant last spring for $600 to purchase 25 ukuleles at $25 a piece. We use them every day. The reason I got the ukuleles in the first place was for those 6th graders that didn't want to sing, didn't want to read music. I mean, you saw a little bit of that today with the I don't want to try kind of thing because I'm afraid to. That was my idea. Is like, okay, let's get them. I can't get a guitar in their hands. That's too expensive. But I can get a ukulele for $25. Get that in their hands, and hopefully that will generate more interest and excitement for the music program. And it's done that, of course. It's done that a lot. I think the biggest impact that they've had is we're getting music in the students' homes. I offered from the outside of the program to order the same kind of ukuleles we use in class for the students that wanted to purchase one for their own home use. And I've probably done that for 20 to 30 different students. So I've got students in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade that have their own ukuleles at home now and are able to just have that home music experience. It also helps the kids be brave. A lot of times when they get in 5th grade, they're a little bit afraid to sing in front of their peers. And I try my best to raise them up, so to speak, since kindergarten to not be afraid, but it's there. And so they can play the ukulele, and it's not a big fear factor because everybody's in the same boat. They've never done it before. There's nobody that's like super good at ukulele naturally.
I wrote a grant last year and for the 2016 school year for the idea to replace my desks. The students that I teach are lots of different sizes, and it seemed like the desks that I had were not big enough for all of the material that I have in class and what I want them to use. So I had wrote a grant in order to replace my desks with stand-up desks. And the reason that I knew about these is I actually had seen a report on television talking about the impact of stand-up desks, and I just thought that is a fantastic idea and that I would love to give it a try. So I applied for a grant from a different organization and was turned down, and so I thought, well, I'll try the McDonald County Foundation in hopes that maybe, I wasn't sure because they are rather expensive and I didn't know if the money would be there for it. So I went ahead and wrote the grant, which was really easy to do, and I was then approved in summer of last year to get new desks for my classroom. The students that I have, and even former students, seem to love these desks. The desks we had before, by the time we get all the supplies we need for math, the calculators and everything, the kids just didn't have any room, and these desks are so much larger. As well as they just, for the different sizes of kids, we have some really tall kids that really struggle to be able to sit in a traditional school desk. And they can come in and they can be comfortable and they have the ability to stand up and move around. These desks are fantastic as well because they have a thing called a Fidget Bar on them. And that allows a lot of our students who have a hard time sitting still, which is understandable when we're in block scheduling, to sit for that length of time. And it gives them an outlet for their energy. It's also made it great because they are able to sit next to a partner. And we do a lot of activities in here where beings with the room is set up this way, they are able to interact a lot easier, and it doesn't require me to do any room rearrangement in order to put them in different groups because the desks are able to accommodate more people.
I have to get up and move around, but in this class I can sit down and like do my work and not distract all the other people in class. So it just makes class easier.
It's more interesting, I think. A lot more interesting.
I like the fidget bar.
Because I fidge a lot, and like when I do it,
yeah. Wooden table is boring.
It's not boring.
Yeah, it's not boring.
Algebra's fun.
Yeah, and you get to move your feet all the time. So.
This school year we received a grant from McDonald County Schools Foundation that provided us with sound reducing, they're called sound sponge room dividers. They reduce the sound and they allow us to create separate spaces in what's called our activity room. So we've been able to make quiet, calming areas for students when they need to calm down or simply need a break from their work or task. But in addition, we've been able to make other separate spaces such as a gym that houses stationary bikes, our yoga equipment, and things like that. So when students move towards their adaptive PE programming, it's still a separate space and not part of the room at large or their typical classroom space, so they still have a separate facility to go to. It's made a big difference for us in our type of program. Many of our students have multiple challenging behaviors. Largely it stems from still learning functional communication. So when a student needs a break or things like that, a lot of times challenging behaviors can occur as they're learning to either tell us break or ask for break by handing us a picture. The walls really helped out, particularly in the beginning of the school year, because as they were learning that piece and learning how to communicate those things, we could direct them to the quiet, calming area.
We wrote a grant because we were really interested in having some technology in our classrooms, and we asked for money so that we could purchase some Chromebooks. We worked on it last spring, and we were pretty excited and pretty optimistic, and we're just really thrilled when we got the money to buy them.
And we use them in our ELA class and our math class for IXL, which is skill-based, based on the students' levels, and for accelerated math.
I recently had an opportunity to make travel brochures in my reading class, and it was so much fun because they got to pick a country. And of course, when you get to type into Google and pull up the pictures and the images and find something interesting, whether it be something here in the United States or some of them would pick, Hawaii or even a country. And I had to pull them off. Kids were going to move on to something else because, it's just such an excitement to pull up the pictures and then just learning and reading and looking at the visuals.
And they have come in very handy for our small groups, using them for differentiated instruction, where they can go to their level and it's based on what they can do, and it's private because it's right there for just them. And so it's really helped with our small group situation as well.
I really want to thank the people of the community and the people who make the effort to donate and to contribute to our kids in the schools, because whatever you do, it really matters. Whether it be these computers or instruments that they play, we really do appreciate it.
And the process was very simple, and Alice Snodgrass was great to work with. She and I worked very closely together this summer to make this possible for our students, and we greatly appreciate that.
I would like to thank the McDonald County Schools Foundation and the donors that make all these grants possible. I've seen several grants in my school make a huge difference in classroom and for the students, and especially the payroll deduction that we do. It's just a really simple way for us teachers to get involved. And I just thank all the teachers especially. I know they've had a great time watching the students learn ukulele also.
I would just really like to thank the foundation for their support. This has been our first year, and so having their support, that's allowed us to create the spaces we've created for some of our kids with the highest needs. It just shows the foundation's commitment to every kid in our entire district. So thank you for the support, and thank you to the people who support the foundation.
I would just love to be able to thank everybody that has donated to the foundation. The impact that we feel here at school is tremendous. I know that my students greatly appreciate the desks. I know that others come in here and are excited to see them and are jealous that they don't get those desks. And if it wasn't for the support of our community and people throughout our area who have generously given to the foundation, we wouldn't have had this option for our students and this innovative new thing to try. So I am deeply appreciative of every dollar that's been given, and I hope that you will continue to support the foundation.